Hello YouTube, what a wonderful day to ride today with the beautiful scenery of Cross Lake Farms at full chair, which you are looking around, beautiful lakes, fountains and everything. It's a wonderful day to ride. Of course, this is my first review on the product which I want to talk about. Before introducing the product, let me quickly talk about why this product, right? So my primary bike being BMW's S1000 XR, and this bike in particular is a fantastic bike, but lacks on one simple thing, which is the tail light. So what BMW has done till date is they have basically removed the tail light and added the brake light as a part of the turn signal indicators. So which is a wonderful cost saving measure or whatever you want to call it, but at the end of the day, the visibility to the people coming from the rear is a challenge. Now if you are in a country like India or Europe where people are used to seeing people on motorcycles, mopeds and all such kind of things, that's not an issue at all. But when it comes to country like US, where majority of the people travel by car and trucks, predominantly in places like Texas where truck is the main mode of communication, what happens here is that it becomes a challenge for people to even notice that there is a bike in front of you or a motorcycle in front of you. And also, if you are braking, it will become a bigger issue because they can't see the brake lights coming right at you. Most of the people are used to seeing lights coming from the tail lights of the cars, which are pretty bright, and they also have top mounted lights, which is very easy to spot, especially when you're driving, which doesn't happen in case of motorcycles. So what happens in this case is that you have to have something which will grab their attention. And secondly, if you are keeping something on the tail of your bike, like a tail bag or some kind of a device there or a box there, it becomes even more difficult for people to spot light below that thing. So that's the reason why this product becomes so significantly important. Now, what are the alternatives, right? Now I can go to Denali, buy a few brake lights, do some wiring, and then go ahead and install them. That will work very well. Then, or take it to a bike mechanic and he will install the brake lights for you. Of course, those are the options which you can consider. But for people who don't want to consider playing around with wiring of the brakes, and also for people, if you're putting lights on the back of your motorcycle, you're not actually mounting the lights on the topmost part of the motorcycle. You're mounting it again on the bottom of the motorcycle, which may or may not get the attention of the cars and the trucks which are driving around you. So how do we get that attention, right? So in order to get that kind of attention, there is a device which was featured on Shark Tank called Brake Free Light. So this particular light is almost sold out every time they get a batch. You have to either pre-order or wait for the stock to be available and then go ahead and purchase it. So I went ahead and purchased this light, but I was not sure, coming from different products from the technology background, and also from the point of view that it was the funded program and not a design from scratch kind of a program. So I was not very sure if it works or not. So I bought this product, used it for some time, and I saw that it's working to what they have claimed it to work. So that's when I decided to make this review and put this part on the review and let every one of you know that there is a product like this which works. So the first and the foremost thing about this product is it's very simple, no complications whatsoever. The product comes with a light. Of course, I'm going to show that light very soon on the video here, and then it comes with a mount. The product itself is designed in such a way that it has got little bit of curvature to it, and that curvature sits very well with the curvature of your helmet, and the curvature of your helmet kind of matches to that. And there is a mount which comes with a 3M glue stick or double-sided tape, which helps you glue that to the motorcycle's helmet at the back. Now once you glue that up, they say that you have to leave it up to 2 hours for a temporary stick up, and then you can start riding. And then, or if you want a permanent fix, you have to leave the vehicle or leave the glue to be glued up to almost like 72 hours, which is not bad, considering the fact that if you take into consideration that you can glue it up in the night, and probably next day you can just take it up and start riding with it, right? So that's something which is doable. Now this brake light specifically is very simple. It comes with a micro USB charging cable, and you basically need to charge it up before you use it. It comes with a little bit of pre-charge, but I would recommend you to charge it. And they say that it takes 3.5 to 4 hours to completely get charged. And with the complete charge, they say it kind of supports up to 8 hours of battery backup. So it's got 3 modes, right? And it's just got one button, so no downloading the app, nothing like that. It is very simple. You just switch on the device, which is basically by pressing the button on the top, right? You need to press the button once, and once you press the button once, it kind of switches on. And the button which you press has to be a long press, it's not a short press to switch it on. So if you are considering that it's going to accidentally switch on, it's not going to do that, right? That's the first thing. Second thing is, once it switches on, then your long press is gone. You need to just use short presses to basically change modes. So once you switch it on, it kind of stays on for a second and gives you 3 beeps. If it gives you 3 beeps, when I say beeps, it's not the beeping of the sound, it's light flashing 3 times. So if it flashes 3 times, that means it's fully charged. If it flashes 2 times, that means it's I think 2/3 of the charge, and if it flashes once, it's got 1/3 of the charge. That's what it means. And then once all of that is done, you press it once, and when you press it once, what happens is it's the original mode which was on kind of changes into a mode which is probably has almost all the lights on, and it is basically to gather more attention. So the mode 1, I would call it more of a driving mode with minimum lighting, and brake lights coming on pretty bright. So if you are using it in the daytime, that would be the mode I will use it in. And also, if I'm planning to use it for a long day's ride, then I would probably use that instead of any other mode to be in, right? Whereas if you are driving in the night and you want a running light which is pretty bright, so then I would probably use the mode 2. The mode 2 will be more or less like all the lights are on, but probably at 20% of their brightness, and then it's gonna basically blink up when you brake, or brighten up when you brake, and when you brake hard, it's gonna blink. So that's the mode 2. And then finally the mode 3, which would be more or less, it's in a blinking state. So when would I use mode 3 is predominantly if I am driving in a wet condition or a snowing condition, and I want to gather a lot of attention from the people around me, that I want them to maintain distance, that kind of a situation, I would go to mode 3. And again, when you brake, it kind of flashes fast and make sure that whatever attention you need to get with the braking, you do get that. So that's one of the major advantages of this brake light. Now having said that, I went out on a long ride last Saturday, and I used this brake light for almost like 7 hours on the road with the mode 1, which is minimal lights on when you're running, and all the lights on while braking, and on heavy braking it's gonna flash. So when I came back home and tried to turn the light off and switched it back on, it still flashed 2 lights on, so I mean 2 times on, which basically means that it just lost 1/3 of the charge with mode 1, and it was almost good to go if I want to continue going with it. So I think the claim of 8 to 12 hours is pretty spot on, and there's no running away from that number, and it's pretty good what they have claimed. Second thing I want to mention is it is hassle-free, because I had some of my friends riding behind me. They very clearly communicated to me that the brake light was spot on whenever I was braking, whether I was doing engine braking or the normal brakes, it was spot on, and it was coming on and going on as expected, going off as expected. So that's also a good thing. And then during that ride itself, I had to go, there was a little bit of a shower, and then at that point in time I was a little bit worried that the waterproofing may not be great, but I didn't have any issues with it. The light was functioning perfectly well when I came back home. Just a little bit of cleanup, and everything was good to go. So all in all, it's a good product, and if you get a chance to buy it, go ahead and buy it. I think it enhances your safety, and it will also enhance the visibility to the drivers coming behind you, and they will, I'm 100% sure, if nothing catches their eye, the flashing when you brake will definitely catch their eye, and definitely make them slow their vehicle or ride and align up to your speed. So this is a great product. Full thumbs up from my side. Go ahead and buy it if you have to, and if you think that this is not a good product, do let me know in the comment section. And if you want me to make more videos like this, subscribe to my channel, give me a thumbs up, and hit the notification icon so that, or the bell icon, so that I can make more videos like this. Thank you, bye bye, see you around.